Millions of people make their way into New York City every morning, and the traffic along Riverside Drive is only a fraction of the total. Traffic is just one of the obstacles endured during the day. And to many a harried businessman, this is not the most efficient method of travel. Necessity is the mother of invention, and the 60th Street Heliport is the product of a need for better transportation access to the heart of the city. Operated by Pan American World Airways for the city of New York, the 60th Street Metroport is ideally located for access to Midtown Manhattan. In fact, it is one of the busiest public heliports in the world, with about 2,000 movements per month. Since opening in November of 1968, traffic in and out has increased steadily, with more than 50 corporations using it on a regular basis, traveling from city center to city center, Philadelphia, Washington, Allentown, Albany, North Adams, Boston, and Providence, all within a 200-mile radius of New York City. As elsewhere in the United States and throughout the world, more and more businesses are using the helicopter. Without question, the helicopter has now become an important part of the daily lives of many corporations. This film documents how 8 different corporations use the helicopter as an integral part of their business. One of the frequent visitors to the Midtown Heliport is Alexander's Incorporated. Incredible Alexander's, whose innovative leadership in merchandising is familiar to every New Yorker. Alexander's is again setting the pace, using a Bell Jet Ranger to speed people and merchandise among the 12 stores in the metropolitan area. A typical flight from Brooklyn out to the Paramus store takes about 30 minutes by helicopter, where the same trip by ground vehicle would take more than 2 hours if the traffic wasn't heavy. Alexander's chief pilot, Ron Barone, flies more than 50 hours each month, and the helicopter is shared on a first-come, first-served basis by top executives, buyers, store planners, and security people. Helipads are located adjacent to each store in parking lots, so the helicopter is able to provide true door-to-door service. During the first 2 years of operation, the helicopter proved to be so effective that Alexander's added another Jet Ranger to its fleet. And with a second ship on the job, the pace has not let up. There's always enough work to be done to keep both ships busy most of the time. Time is money, especially so for the U.S. Time Corporation, manufacturers of the famous Timex watches. Headquartered in Middlebury, Connecticut, Timex employs the helicopter as a time saver in expediting parts and people. Chief Pilot Jim Dorenzo describes his situation.
We go from door to door. We have a priority system here. Timex operates on the premise that we keep no inventory. Now, let's say, for instance, if sales office gets the word from the distributors saying that this model's not selling too well, we stop the line. And when we shut down that line, that's the last watch goes out. It's already sold. See? What happens then is we change the line over, which means we got to have the parts on hand all the time. If they change a model or if they change a design, we immediately have to go up there for the design change, quick meeting, come back, and then start transporting the parts. Management wishes we could give management more time. You see, management comes actually as a secondary type of item on that priority list. The object is to keep the parts and the lines open. So you see, we have to have a helicopter. We can't afford not to get those parts going.
Timex provided a hangar at the headquarters building, which is convenient for the people who use the aircraft for trips into New York City or New England. If an important meeting or trip comes up, the schedule can be modified to accommodate the new development. It is this flexibility which makes the helicopter such a valuable piece of equipment. An important meeting comes up suddenly, and it is necessary for Mr. Lemcool, the president of the company, to be there. The connecting flight leaves from Kennedy in 1 hour, and it's raining. Yet the helicopter can be there in plenty of time to check through customs if necessary. The quick reaction time of the helicopter is making possible maximum efficiency of the executive's most valuable commodity, time. Located in Spring Valley, New York, Deckair Helicopters is an organization which leases, operates, and maintains helicopters for corporations which have a need for the services offered by a helicopter, but do not want to add an aviation department to the corporate structure. Deckair is also a factory-authorized service station for the metropolitan area and performs major maintenance scheduled on many of the helicopters operating on the East Coast. The factory-trained mechanics are able to service any of the Bell helicopters operating in the area and have a complete stock of replacement parts for major maintenance jobs. Deckair also maintains its own fleet of helicopters. Time is also an important factor in the construction industry, and Fred Weber Construction Company of St. Louis, Missouri is one of the busiest in the Midwest. The helicopter is an integral part of this widespread enterprise, which includes rock quarries and hot mix plants. Chief Pilot Jerry Brennan describes how the helicopter plays an important role.
Primarily, it's used for getting parts, personnel to the job sites. And I have 3 scheduled days a week that I pick up daily worksheets to be run on our computer in our office. So that anytime we can pick out a specific job and say, okay, how are we doing on that job, profit and loss wise? And usually, if a machine is broke down, that machine is also affecting something else along the line. Take, for instance, we have over $800,000 worth of machinery in one string, slip farm paving. If a generator goes out on that slip farm paving, it can shut the whole paving crew down. You're talking about 25 or 30 men, plus trucks, plus you could lose up to 100 yards of concrete. It's already out of the batch plant and is en route to the paver. So this is, regardless of what size the part is or the cost of the part, if it's holding up the piece of machinery, this is where time is valuable.
Weber's Jet Ranger was delivered equipped with a litter kit, since experience had indicated a need for quick evacuation of injured men on the job. Fortunately, there have been only 2 occasions where medical evacuation by helicopter was necessary. But the capability is there if needed. In the construction industry, the capability of providing speedy transportation for an injured man is reassuring to the men, and most important if the injury is serious. Mr. Weber contributed the funds and materials to construct helipads at the 2 largest hospitals in the St. Louis area, and the emergency rooms are equipped with Unicom radios, which allows the hospital staff to be ready to receive the patient immediately. One of the largest suppliers of Caterpillar earth-moving equipment in the United States is the Peterson Tractor Company in San Leandro, California. Mr. Peterson tells of his rather unique application of the helicopter.
I oftentimes make a quick trip with a customer where he comes to see me and we drive out to the heliport and climb aboard and go to his job where we're able to review some of his problems and oftentimes work out solutions or sell him a new piece of equipment. Very often a piece of machinery can be sold in an office, but if the customer is not familiar with the item, well, it's so much better to get him right on the sidelines of his job where he can look at the machine work and so forth. The Bay Area being a congested traffic area, I find that with the helicopter I can usually make about 3 times faster than automobile driving. It's a matter of time principally, but it's also a matter of less effort involved. The helicopter is restful and there's a lot of fun connected with it, right while you're working. I have done all the flying of this helicopter. There's no other helicopter pilot in our company. Since we've purchased this helicopter, I've found a new dimension to living, actually. It seems like you get a different perspective from above, and especially the low altitude that the helicopter is practical at. It is often helpful to show the contractor exactly how the terrain lays, and so we don't hesitate to offer that service. It's a very nice way to get close to your customers. I would certainly buy a helicopter again because it allows me to do so much more than I could otherwise. In other words, during the day, there's always many things that come up. Well, if I had time, I'd do this or that or the other thing. Well, the helicopter makes it possible to move into 2 or 3 additional situations per day very often, where otherwise you just have to bypass them.
Portland General Electric Company serves a vital part of the Northwest power grid. Chuck Wolf, chief pilot for PGE, flies some of the most varied terrain and weather to be found in a single area. The small weather station and radios are invaluable when operating a helicopter under the unusual and trying circumstances of this mission. Mr. Donald Miller, Operations Planning Manager for PGE, tells the story.
In addition to my duties as the Operation Planning Manager within the Executive Department, I'm responsible for the management of the aircraft operations here within the company. PGE makes rather heavy use of the helicopter for line operations and as an executive transportation utility vehicle. The heliplex features a 40 by 40 foot pad covered with a thin coating of concrete, and this pad arrangement contains its own special drainage system designed to separate oil and water. A section of this pad is mounted on rails and coupled to an electric drive mechanism and acts as a transporter system to move the copter in and out of the hangar. The hangar itself is insulated and electrically heated, thus ensuring a fast warm-up and ready availability under all weather conditions. Other major features of this operation include a 12,000-gallon jet fuel storage tank and a lighting system that can be operated by VHF radio from the aircraft. Since the Ranger seats 4 passengers and a pilot, much of the demand has been as a transportation device for personnel and for patrolling of transmission lines. The helicopter is available upon very short notice, and nowhere in our 3,300 square mile area is more than about 27 minutes away. Even the most remote sections of our northwest-southwest intertie are no more than 2.5 hours away. Additionally, the company has developed a special photography chair that attaches to the exterior of the helicopter, which affords a literally unobstructed view of the terrain below. Some spectacular shots were obtained from this device during the filming of the development of PGE's first nuclear power plant. Now, our line patrol operations, while requiring only 35 to 40 flight hours per year, we consider that the helicopter, in effect, pays its own way when you look at a line patrol job in some of this rugged, mountainous area that might take 2 men using a Jeep anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks to complete. This same patrol can be completed by the helicopter in less than 2 hours. Aerial inspection of lines is not only more efficient than walking from a time-saving point of view, but the observations from the air present a much higher quality result and visual contrast against a terrain background that definitely is in contrast with the equipment itself. So we feel that the helicopter gives us a green advantage in terms of restoring service and increasing reliability on the system.
The mountains of Virginia and West Virginia contain one of our most valuable resources, coal. But the mountains also serve as a barrier to ground traffic. The helicopter has turned mountains into molehills for the Clinchfield Coal Company, which uses its ship to move people, parts, even water with ease. Here, Chief Pilot Bob Myers is delivering a load of water samples to Clinchfield's Central Research and Testing Facility, one of the most complete coal testing laboratories in the industry. Water samples are collected from streams near the mines and brought to the central laboratory for complete analysis. The company maintains a constant monitor of water pollution levels and is able to react quickly if the mine is polluting a stream or river. Bob Myers describes his company's use of the helicopter in more detail.
Primarily, we use it for transportation, transporting our mining people from one mine or from one site to another. Some of it is used for flying our power lines, and also we haul parts to the mines. The president of the company, I would say, he flies about 12 hours a month, maybe a little more, and he inspects the mines. He actually goes in the mine. I fly the vice presidents and also the chief electrician. If he has trouble someplace, one of the mines is experiencing power failure or intermittent power, while I fly him to the mine, get him there as quick as I can so we can get the mine back in operation. If they have trouble, they need the copter right away to get someone up there to find out what's wrong. It's usually a vice president or one of the engineers, and they just pick up a phone and call right in. Someone can dispatch me to the scene wherever they want me to pick up someone to move them or whatever they need, whatever's causing the downtime, as they say. They don't like to have any downtime. They like to keep the coal coming out.
The Mack Bulldog is a familiar face in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Mack was a pioneer in the truck industry and continues to lead the field in many areas, providing specialized off-the-road equipment and custom-made over-the-road trucks. In addition to being a pioneer in the truck industry, Mack is also a pioneer in using helicopters. The chairman of the board and president of Mack Trucks is almost as enthusiastic about the helicopters in his aviation fleet as he is about the truck industry. Mr. Hansen.
I started using a helicopter way back in the middle 50s in Chicago, which was a very effective piece of equipment in those days. It proved the usefulness of a helicopter in business. The speed and maneuverability and mobility that you have as a result of it. Now, yesterday, for instance, I went into New York. I left at 11:15, went in and had lunch at the Lynx Club with the United States ambassador to Moscow, finished lunch, dashed right back to 60th Street, was back here in time to get some work done before I went to Washington. We get a lot of important people that come to New York. We bring them out here in the helicopter, get a great many foreign visitors that come to New York, and we're able to pick them up and bring them out here in the helicopter. So, and I know of a few definite orders that we secured because of the helicopter. No question about it at all. I think it's a great tool, and, well, just look at all of them that are new helicopters around here since we started using the helicopter. I guess we were the first one around here, weren't we?
More and more businesses are finding the helicopter adds to their flexibility and mobility because it allows them to rise above man-made and natural obstacles. It takes them over the problem areas faster, more often, and in better condition to solve the problems of business efficiently. It offers a means of staying ahead of the ever-quickening pace of modern business. And Bell helicopters are providing the fastest, most reliable, and most versatile transportation available. If the requirements are for a fast, 5-passenger, turbine-powered Jet Ranger, which offers speeds of up to 140 miles per hour, or the twin-turbine 212, which offers the greatest margin of security over water, metropolitan areas, or rooftop landings, and which carries up to 14 passengers in the quiet, comfortable atmosphere of an executive office, there's a Bell helicopter to fill the bill. That's why more and more businesses are taking off in Bells.